Oh boy, let's hope this goes better than it did yesterday, at least technically, right? Jesus, I'm not ready for that again. Hey, here we go.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
Oh, what's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for coming back. Today is Wednesday, October 6th, 2021, and this is episode number 344, I believe, of Barry on Deck. If I got that right, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I've lost track a little bit of the count, but nonetheless, we are here as always. Barry on Deck, brought to you by the AP Law Group. If you have been injured in an accident, call them, 713-913-GO-AP. Or log on to aplawgroup.com. Do not get bullied by those insurance companies, folks. Take control of the situation. Get somebody on your side that'll fight for you. And that is the AP Law Group. Hey, guys, welcome. Boy, I'm hoping and praying for a better show today. Yesterday's was rough. We got through it. I'll be honest with you. I know I overreacted to yesterday's problems and issues, but I think I got to the bottom of it. I think I understand what's going on right now. Burnout and exhaustion. I think I have taken on way too much at this point, between a TV show where I'm took over hosting duties and producing and still doing Barry on Sports. Trying to get this comedy career continued with the special coming up and prepping for that. Plus, I produced 2 comedy shows, which I normally don't do. I've got this show and the business behind it. We just kicked off the Streamathon, and then I have Sports Riot. And not only is it Sports Riot, we're also doing a comedy show for Sports Riot that requires some prep. So I came to the realization as I sat on the back porch yesterday that I think I'm burned out. I think I am I'm tapped out. I am exhausted. And I'll be honest, I don't think if I was killing it, you know what I mean? Like success-wise and financially and all of those things, I think that I think it wouldn't be as bad, but I know I'm not experiencing the growth. And don't get me wrong, I am so grateful for you guys. This is not a complaint about the support I am getting. That is not what this is. Please do not take that way. What this is a bit of disappointment in the amount of growth that I've experienced with Barry on Deck and Sports Riot and comedy and those things. And I know that it takes time, and, it's just one of those things where you get a little, you want to see things happen maybe faster than they need to. You know what I'm saying? So and again, I'm so grateful for those of you that show up every day for this stupid show and for my stupid face, because without you, then I would really be sad and depressed, because this show, man, it means the world to me. This is everything else. All of the other things that I'm doing and making happen is because of this show. And that's because of you guys. So I don't want this to sound like I'm being ungrateful. I think when you own a business, sometimes, you stall out, or you have to figure out how to grow that business. And that's what I've been stuck with on this show for a very long time. How to grow this show. because it's not growing. I mean, again, don't know how many times I need to say this, but I'm hoping you guys take this the right way, because I don't want this to sound like, well, we're here, Barry. No, I understand. I just, as a business person, I am struggling to figure out, how do you market a show like this? How do you grow a show like this? How do you get people to try a show like this? And yeah, and so that, I think, compounded with all of the stuff I have going on and the work involved and all the other things that I do, is just, it's a lot. And then, of course, there's the old, I don't spend much time with the wife, and I'm lucky. I understand that. A lot of people would love to have the comedy career I have, or the streaming career I have, or the TV career I have, or any of those things. So I understand how lucky I am, but I think I think I need a break. And I don't know. I think I'm going to take a break at the end of the year. I think. No. And that's just it, Alan. You guys step up all the time. This is not a knock or an indication of anything in regards to support. It is not what this is, Alan. This is, as a business owner, not as a streamer, but as a business owner, I have to figure out how to market and grow this show. And I have not been able to do that, and that's frustrating. Ask any business. Walt's a business owner. Ask Walt about growing a business. It could be frustrating. And I think that's part of it. So please don't take this the wrong way. And please don't look at this as me looking at you guys saying, oh, that's not what this is. Not at all. If I owned a fucking landscaping service, I'd probably be going through the same thing. How do I grow my landscaping service? So that's what this is. And the fact that I've just got so many irons in the fire. And it's not that I don't appreciate all of those irons, because I do. I just need a little break, a little time off. But it won't be now. I mean, I've got too much going on in October and November. We got to get through the Streamathon. There will be no break on this show, at least until the Streamathon is over with, and that's scheduled for December 4th. So I'll probably take a break around Christmas. A lot of people are off anyways. Numbers I expect to be down. Most people won't be watching. They'll be off spending time with their family. So I'll probably take a week around Christmas just to chill. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, Alan says I run a business too. I take wellness days like today. Well, I'm happy you get to do that, buddy. You should do that. You absolutely should do that. So and look, and I'm open to any and all ideas on how to grow this thing, how to market this thing. I have always said that. So yeah, if you have ideas, I'm all ears. The billboard idea is a little expensive, and but maybe that's what I need to do, is put up a billboard just to get the word out to the city of Houston that this thing exists. I don't know. Sydney said, owning a business is hard work. You have to keep yourself healthy and sane in order to make everything work accordingly. Take the time you need. That's part of the problem, Sid, is I don't get enough sleep. And I literally didn't even have time today to have a call with my doctor about, because I have sleep apnea. I did a sleep study. I have sleep apnea, so that doesn't help. I need to get a CPAP machine, which would help me sleep. I don't even have time to have that call with the doctor's office. So yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Donna, yes, Cece, you do need to take time off if you're exhausted. Absolutely. Let's get into this. Come on. All right, enough about me crying and whining. I had that revelation on the porch yesterday. I think I had been running on fumes. I was like, why am I so bleh? Because I'm usually super positive and excited and have energy. And I didn't have that last night on Sports Right. I don't have it today. I think it's burnout, which I don't do often. But it happens. All right, here's your greatest decade in the history of the world. John Dory, my guy. Showing up big, baby. John Dory in early. Shelby must be getting ready for the wedding. I saw that earlier, and you're right. She has to be primping and prepping, and I hope so. John Dory, buddy, thank you for getting in early. Thank you for the first super chat of the day. That dollar means a lot to me because you guys don't have to do that, and I appreciate it. And also the first like, we're just going to assume that. So John Dory gets the triple crown. What? Put it down, Jeff Bell. Aaron Bryant, so close, my dog. AJB was 2 in the chat. He said, what's up, people? I wish I could turn that lamb bomb into a shirt. I really do. House was 3rd. Look at Housey coming in. What's up, Walt and Donna and Fidel and Uzi and Rudolph with message of the year and the decade, as always. Dandy Dan and Cisco. What's up, buddy? And yeah, it is Shelby's wedding day. Let's talk a little bit about that for a second. So tonight, if you didn't know, or you're living under a rock, or you're new to the show, I doubt it, because I just got through bitching about not being able to get new people. But we have a show tonight at the Houston Improv. It is October 6th. That is today. Doors at 6:30, show at 8. It is called Sports Riot Live. The show is called Sports Riot, just so we're clear. A lot of people think it's called Sports Riot Live. It's just called Sports Riot. But when we did the marketing we had to find consistent names on social media, and it was Sports Riot Live, and we're live on Twitch, so it made sense. But this will be Sports Riot Live at the Improv, so we're calling it Sports Riot Live. Look, it's whatever. No one gave a shit about that, Barry. It's okay. But yeah, we're going to be doing some stand-up comedy, some sports debate. It's going to be a fun show. And at the very, very end, yours truly, the Minister of Laughs, this guy right here, an ordained minister. Yeah, that's me. You see that? That is official, folks. How come that won't focus? Focus, bitch. How come that won't focus on it? There we go. Look at that. I am an ordained minister with the United National Church. Be it known that the minister identified below is an ordained minister with the United National Church and is authorized to exercise all rights and privileges, including the solemnizing of marriages, while maintaining a godly life under scriptural standards. I didn't read that last part. Well, that could be a problem. Nonetheless, we're going to make it official. I'm even bringing with me, obviously I'm bringing my parking pass so I can park up front for the service. But I even have, I will be filling that out for the bride and groom. Lovely United National Church certificate of marriage. So we're going to get fancy with it. It's going to be a good time. I wrote the ceremony last night. Stayed up after Sports Riot and did that. I sent it over to Shelby. She has approved the outline and the verbiage for the ceremony. They have some custom vows in there, which is kind of cool. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a good time. The comedy's going to be great. The debate, I expect to be great. It's going to be outstanding. So, good times indeed. Thank you all for those of you that have already got your tickets. If you haven't, please go to the Improv website, improvhouston.com, and get your tickets right now. We would love to have 100 people show up. That's the goal. That's our goal. 100 people to come out to watch us do our Sports Riot stuff live would be outstanding. So I'm seeing other names in the chat that I missed, including D Mata. What up, dude? Eric Resendez, good to see you. Justin Swinford, what's groovy to you, buddy? Ray, what's up, fam? Good to see you, man. Christy, Uriel, what up? Who else there? Ben, I saw Marty earlier. Jeff Bell, there he goes. You still coming tonight, Fidel? Yeah, Fidel, you going? What's up, Stephen Luther? Good to see you, buddy. Todd the Show, what's up, player? Glad you're alive. Glad you're all alive, but Todd specifically. What's up, Amos? Thanks for being here, man. Jared, what's up, man? Matt Poche in the building. Sid, hello, Sid. Marsha. Who else is here? I think I got Ben. Nick. It's Nick Gamboa. I don't know why I make Nick Italian, but that just sounds like an Italian. Nick Gamboa. I'm from Far Rockaway, Queens. I don't know. What's up, Brandon Gary? Joe Pro live in the chat. I dig that. What up, Jen? How are you, sweetie? Clarence. Hey guys, what's up? That hurt my throat. And I can't do Clarence. How do you do that all the time? Oh, that really hurt. Shit. Who else is in the chat? I think I covered everybody. Okay. What's up, Mr. Reyes? How are you? Okay. What's up, Josh? Hooligan in the building. All right, let's go. So we have sports headlines, and then we're going to do fantasy updates. I do have some bad news for you today. It is a Whisker Wednesday. I do have two amazingly adorable animals for you to adopt, courtesy of Special Pals. However, I do not have a Whisker Wednesday video. And I feel no one feels worse about that than me, because Katie takes all that time to get those videos together. To be honest with you, it slipped my mind, and I didn't have an opportunity to get it done before the show started at 2:05:7. So, will Sports Riot be on Twitch also? We talked about that. There might be some go live foolishness before the show in the green room, maybe for a little bit, but I doubt it, because it's a Wednesday and we normally don't do a show on Wednesday. Oh my gosh. I just realized that hurts. It's like a pimple right there. What is this? Whiskey Wednesday. $4 Crown, JD, Jameson, and Maker's Mark from 5 p.m. to close. Where's that at? That's a good question. Marty in here, go White Sox. All right, we're going to get to that, Marty. Hang tight, buddy. We're going to get to that. Let's do these sports headlines first, though. Let's get to this. New England, the New England Patriots have traded a cornerback, Stephon Gilmore, to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round pick. Pretty interesting development after what happened with the Cowboys yesterday, and then now this. Gilmore a bit disgruntled with New England, expected and wanted a long-term deal, and y'all know that's not how New England is. That's not how they do. Heartthrob said he's here, earbuds in to drown out the boss. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. But yeah, that's not how it goes. So not in New England anyways, and not under Bill Belichick. So Gilmore has set out preseason and minicamp at least. And I do need to update that. You're right, Sean. And so the question becomes, they were going to release him. They just didn't need the money. I mean, that's a pretty good secondary, as is J.C. Jackson and crew, doing a pretty good job. Gilmore hasn't played yet this year. I want to say he's been out since last year because of a quad or something like that. Nonetheless, he hadn't played yet, and that defense has been holding it down. I mean, they took the Bucs down to the last minute of the game. Held Tom Brady in check in the rain. I get it, but it's still a decent secondary. It's a good Belichick defense. So I think they felt like they could move on from Gilmore and the money and everything else. They were planning to release him. Several teams reached out to New England, and eventually they ended up getting a 6th-round pick for him. Very typical Patriots. Very typical. But they did. So Stephon Gilmore now a Carolina Panther. When he's healthy, he'll be back and helping that defense. Matt Nagy has committed to Justin Fields as the Bears' starting quarterback going forward. I find that interesting. He swore he wouldn't. He said he wouldn't, and he did. I'm curious what you Bears fans think of this. Does Justin Fields give you the best chance of winning, or do you even care? Is it not about winning this year? It's about developing him. But you got to know this is similar to what was going on in Texas. I mean, with the Texans, right? Where it's like, okay, are you going to rebuild? And then you're going to waste the final, few years that J.J. Watt had. He didn't want to be here through a rebuild. You think Khalil Mack wants to go through that now with a young rookie quarterback having to learn how to play in the NFL for the next year or two? Sean says we hate Nagy, can't wait till he gets his walking papers. Well, that's not the question. I know Bears fans hate Matt Nagy. I know that. What I'm asking is, do you think, based on what you've seen, that Justin Fields would give you the best opportunity to win that division? Is it a winnable division for the Bears this year? I think maybe it is under Andy Dalton more so than Justin Fields based on the way Fields has looked so far. He's just not reading defense as well. He's not picking up the blitz. He's not seeing the field. It's just, he's a rookie. That's going to happen. But do you want to waste another year? Can Bears fans and the Bears actually fade that? I don't know. It looks like developing Fields is the way to go. Okay. All right. No, not winnable. Vikings or Packers have it. So then you're just like, fuck it. Okay. Fair enough. We have a lot of Bears fans here. I'm very surprised at that. We've got We've got Nick, Mark, Sean, and Marty. And I want to say there's at least one more Bears fan. Five of you at least in here. So kind of surprising. That's a lot of Bears fans for one Houston-based show. Josh Gordon will make his debut for the Chiefs in Week 5. So the rich get richer, at least on offense. We'll see how he goes. He's in shape, though. 7% body fat. I mean, I'm close. I'm slimming up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I was pretty excited. I was 195.5 this morning. After a semi-bad, I mean, not bad. I don't think I ate more than 2,000 calories in a day over the weekend, but I certainly wasn't sticking to my, 1,000-calorie diet, but I had to. I had to. But down to 195. 10 pounds to go. And 10 days to do it. I'm going to lose all that money. This is what's going to happen. All that money's going to charity. I feel it in my bones. I'm going to have to starve myself. Maybe I just won't eat for the next 10 days. I should lose 10 pounds in 10 days if I don't eat. Boy, that'll really help me with burnout. That's probably also part of the problem. Eating. I had 2 days ago, I ate 800 calories. That was one of my days. 800 calories. That's it. Whole day. One meal, 800 calories. Christian McCaffrey practiced today. Yeah, I did see that as well, Matt, right before airtime. So, going to be getting him back. Good for them. Anyways, Josh Gordon. I mean, can't compete with my 6% body fat. Oh, I'm sorry, 60% body fat. I read that wrong. Urban Meyer has zero credibility inside that Jags locker room. That is according to one player on the team who chose or asked to remain anonymous. We kind of knew that already. The rumors had been floating about and people had been talking about that. But the fact of the matter is, more and more people are coming forward and saying he lost that locker room a long time ago. The players do not respect him. They don't think he knows what he's doing, and he has zero credibility. And when that happens, and you have off-the-field issues like he's having, it's not a good look. Good luck today, Dandy Dan. I know you got doc stuff to do, man. I know you GTSS pretty regularly, so good luck, buddy. I'll be thinking about you. The Dodgers will be without Clayton Kershaw for the postseason. They didn't know if it would just be the wild card or divisional round, but now they're saying it is the postseason. And speaking of that, we can go ahead and jump into tonight's matchup, baseball-wise, MLB related. Where the hell did my link go? Okay, well, Adam Wainwright, Clayton Kershaw. Adam Wainwright, Max Scherzer on the mound tonight. But I wanted to pull it up. Muncy is day to day. So I doubt he plays now, but if they do happen to advance, I could see Muncy maybe getting in a game 2, game 3 of a series. It's just going to depend on how he is able to bounce back. But I'm just going to pull this up here. There we go. Zoom out. So this is what the Dodgers are, a 1.5 run favorite. I tell you what, though, a lot of you probably forget that Cardinals lineup pretty potent, especially at the power position with Arenado and Goldschmidt. But you can see this. I found this interesting when I peeped at it. Max Muncy, who's going to be out or day to day at least, leads that team in home runs batted in. I think he leads in OPS and or on base. Maybe it's OPS. Maybe it's on base. Maybe it's both. But I know he leads them in WAR as well. Max Muncy is the Dodgers MVP this year, at least in that lineup. Losing him is a big blow. Now, don't get me wrong, that lineup is still stacked. You got Mookie Betts, Justin Turner, et al. So you're still okay. But you want to go into this wild card game. It's a do or die. One win or you're out. You got to. You want to go in full strength, and unfortunately, they're not going to be able to. Now, I still think they win the game. I found it interesting. 7.5 runs was the over/under. And with Scherzer going, with Adam Wainwright, who has been pitching pretty well, this might be a closer, lower scoring game than I think people anticipate, even though these lineups are pretty potent. I could see this being, a 3-2 game. I think I would take the under 3-2, maybe 4-3. But with these offenses, hell, I could be wrong. They could explode. 5-3 game or something like that. Yeah, Fidel said he'll take the under as well. But there is your matchup. Now, also, just while we're here and on the schedule, Astros and have announced their starter for Game 1 and Game 2. Lance McCullers will take the bump in Game 1 against the Chicago White Sox October 7th, which is Thursday. That is a 3:07 start. Of course, they would run that shit right in the middle of the show in Houston. They give Boston and Tampa the late game. Bunch of raggedy bitches. I mean, let's be real. I don't know. What media market is Boston, by the way? I'm curious. I want to see. Let's see. Media markets by size. Here's your media markets according to Nielsen. Oh my God, did y'all just hear my stomach growl? That was horrendous. Let me see. Zoom out. So here's your media markets. This is what it looks like. New York is 1, OBS, with 6 million TV homes. 6.8. LA is 2. Chicago 3. Philly is 4. Dallas, Fort Worth 5. San Francisco 6. But that includes Oakland and San Jose. DC is 7. Houston is 8. Boston is barely behind at 9. Atlanta 10. Tampa 12. So you've got number 3 versus number 8 TV markets. White Sox, Chicago White Sox, Houston Astros. And you've got number 9 and number 12 TV markets, Boston and Tampa. So what do? Well, they decide to put the 2 lesser media markets on primetime. Why? Why is that? What are we doing? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Nonetheless, Lance McCullers Jr. takes the bump Game 1. Framber Valdez will be Game 2. They haven't announced who Game 3 starter will be. I suspect that's going to be Luis Garcia. Could it be Urquidy? Yeah, but I think Garcia has proven himself worthy and a worthy adversary. And the way he's pitched this year, he's earned the right to take that start in Game 3. So we'll see what they do there. The other starters, Shane McClanahan will be starting or opening for the Rays, and no announcement on Boston or Chicago yet. The Atlanta-Milwaukee series, Charlie Morton will be pitching for the Braves. Corbin Burns for the Brewers in Game 1 of that series on Friday. So there you go. And there I mentioned Wainwright and Scherzer tonight, 7:10 first pitch. But you guys won't be able to watch it because you'll be at Sports Riot live, live, love, laugh, whatever. Okay, zoom out. Mark G said, I don't think it's because Tampa, I think because they knew it was either the Sox or the Yanks. They gambled. And the Yanks lost. So now you're stuck with 2 small-ass media markets for your prime time. Kind of shitty. But, hey. The Sox are coming on really strong at the end of the regular season. Hopefully that moment will continue. Remember 2005? Shut up, Marty! Go White Sox. Yeah, well, we'll see. La Russa can hold it together and not get drunk. Ruin it. What was Chicago looking like down the stretch? Let's go take a gander. I wanted to see what does their zoom out. Let's just take a gander at some of their statistics. 7th in batting, 5th in average, or 7th in runs, 5th in average, 3rd in on base, 10th in slugging. From a pitching perspective, oh holy Jesus, what did I just do? What just happened? That was super weird. Wow. That got like crazy weird only there for a second. From a pitching perspective, am I still on? Okay, good. Oh, I was like, no, my God. Fifth in ERA, 10th in quality starts, fifth in whip, and fourth in batting average against. I would love to see bullpen versus starters and all those things. Unfortunately, they don't really do that. Like used to, you could come to splits and you could choose pitching and you could choose like, why is that not showing up over there? Oh, they're not showing the pop-ups. That's weird. But that's not the thing. That's not occurring. So I can't really show you. By the way, I didn't realize this. Tim Anderson proclaimed himself the most exciting player in baseball. Okay, Tim. Let's calm down a little, shall we? Let's compare this to what the Astros, what their numbers look like. So I showed you team statistics for them. So, pitching for the Astros, 7th in ERA, 7th in quality starts, 8th in whip, 3rd in batting average against. Batting, of course, it's not even close. 1st in runs, batting average, on base percentage, 3rd in slugging. This is a team that doesn't swing and miss a lot. They're going to put the ball in play. Chicago's going to have their hands full. I saw one person pick them to go to the World Series. That seems pretty strange to me, but okay. Especially when you consider how well Tampa Bay and the Astros have played down the stretch. What's up, Danny? He said, what up, Shouty? What up, Shouty? Mark G said, Boston is one of the most popular teams nationwide. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I mean, I know that's the reason why, but it just makes me angry, Mark. Just let me have this, okay? Just let me be angry. So let's see here. Now we got to do fantasy. Let's talk a little. We got basketball to get to, by the way. Let's talk Kyrie Irving, because I think that's an interesting subject about sports in general, especially in the state of New York. We need to figure out what are they going to do, because if Kyrie doesn't get vaccinated, he's not going to be able to play. So we'll talk about that. But before we do that, I want to talk about fantasy football. And this year's Fantasy Football League for Barry on Deck brought to you by Dan's Seafood and Wings. Bringing you prizes for all four. That's right, 4 of the Barry on Deck League's winner gets $100 cash, $100 gift card to Dan's Seafood and Wings. You'll get probably a shirt or a trophy or a handshake. I don't know yet. But this is your fantasy update courtesy of Dan's Seafood and Wings. Brian and Eric Resendez faced off. Eric with the 120-111 victory. And then you've got Jay Greasy and Amos in a high-scoring affair. Josh with the 151-142 victory. Look at everybody's all angry. Fuck fantasy football. And then you got the people that won. They're like, loving it. Yeah, Brandon Gary, it wasn't even close. That is an all-natural ass whooping that he put on Jeff Bell, 115-90. Incarnate beat Robert Likes Beer, the king of the deckheads, in a squeaker. Oh, boy. 127.96 to 126.6. Team punishment, a.k.a. Titan Hugo. Just beat the brakes off of Jared Taylor, 128-97. So your standings in the BZH League. Brandon Gary sitting at 4-0, undefeated. Eric Resendez 3-1. Titan Hugo 2-2. Jared Taylor and BZH both 1-3 in the East. Over in the West, Incarnate is 3-1. Josh is 3-1. 2-2 is Jeff Bell, and then Amos and the King 1-3 and 0-4 respectively. In the other league, in Walt's league, Drew beat Walt 119-107. Liebeshock beat D-Mata. D-Mata, are you even changing your team? Did you bench everybody? How do you only manage 68 points? Did you accidentally put baseball players on your team, D-Mata? 105-68. That is pretty terrible. Now D-Mata said this is his first year ever of playing fantasy. And I think you're doing a fantastic job that you mustered up 6. You got to like adjust your lineup every week, right? You don't just this isn't the Ronco electric steamer. You don't just set it and forget it. You got to change them out. You got to be like, "Oh, this guy's injured. This guy sucks." Oh, he's probably got Andy Dalton as his quarterback and just left him in there. Get your shit together, D-Mata. Anyways, give Shock the layup, why don't you? House. Man, House is for D-Mata said, really? Yeah, you gotta adjust it every week, pal. Look at House looking like a fantasy know-it-all. Just beat up on truck driver Pookie. 146-86. Fidel beat KD 153-138 for the high point in the league. And then Matt Poche beat White Magic, whom we haven't seen hide nor hair of in a while, but that's all right. 123-96. Standings now, House at 3-1. No undefeateds left. There are defeateds, though. Walt still hasn't won a game. Walt, bro, what are you doing, fam? What are you doing? House is 3-1. Truck driver Pookie's 2-2. Drew is 2-2. KD 1-3. Walt 0-4. White Magic sitting at 3-1 along with Fidel and Mike Liebeshock. That is a tough division over there in the Walt League. Matt Poche at 2-2 and D-Mata somehow has a win and Walt doesn't. Jesus, Walt. Get your absolute shit together. Awake Reaper said, I still can't believe I didn't get in on this. Yeah, are you still on the Discord, Awake Reaper? That might have been why, because that was the only place you were allowed to get in on it. So if you're not on the Discord, you got to be there. That's how you get in on this stuff, folks. Here is the is this Steve? Yeah, this is the Lil Uzi Vert League. Dandy Dan beating B-Mart 118-110. I mean to 100. Sorry, I gave him 10 more points than he deserved. Keith Sager a 149-90 victory over Lil Uzi. Knows the weather, doesn't know fantasy. Chris Reyes 136, Sylvia 110. Dang it, man. I had high hopes for Sylvia. She's a savant. Still sitting at 2-2, leading her division, but dang. That's an ass whooping Mr. 1% put on her. Michael Caravantes 133-98 win over Mark G. And Christopher Mina ekes out a win. Holy shit. 123.86 to 123.08 over Cisco. Buddy, Cisco, I love you, but damn, how do you lose like that, you dumbass? Well done, Mr. Mina. You know what? Dub's a dub. It doesn't matter the differential. That is a close one. Christopher Mina is now 4-0, undefeated in the Lil Uzi Vert League. Chris Reyes, 3-1. Cisco at 2-2. Keith Sager 2-2. Lil Uzi at 1-3. Sylvia sitting at 2-2 along with Mark G. Dandy Dan is also 2-2. B-Mart and Michael Caravantes 1-3 each. And finally, this is the Clarence League. I don't really want to talk about it. Clarence absolutely whooped Lisa, whom I love to death, but damn, 156-111. She's still hanging in there though. Pink Valkyrie 160. That's a lot of points over John Westling's 116 Rocky Got Robbed team. Uriel Villanueva 126. PP Dubs 86. Truck driver. Total Dallas 134. My sorry ass squad 95. What happens there? How does that happen? And then Anna's Ghost, aka CC, 170-103. CC stole all my players, and look what she's doing. She beat up on Black Sheep. That is an ass whooping of that might be the biggest margin of victory, right? 67 points. Well, no, because old fucking D-Mata rolled over and laid an egg. That's a lot of points. You know what sucks for Black Sheep is he could have beat me, PP Dubs easily if he'd have played us, but instead he's got to go out there and play Crystal. At least Pink Valkyrie and Crystal didn't link up, because then Pink Valkyrie with 160 would have lost. You don't even know how funny this is. She said, at least I know how to draft. Did not pick a single player on this team. Not a one. This is an auto-drafted team at 170 points. It's disgusting. Clarence is 3-1 in the league. Lisa and Total Dallas 2-2. Me and PP Dubs both at 1-3, sucking ass. Not each other's, but John Wesley and Peak Valkyrie 3-1. CC's at 2-2, along with Uriel Villanueva, and then Black Sheep at 1-3 over in the West. So there are your fantasy football updates. Just gonna say, Barry, I love you, but how do you lose like that, you dumbass? Hey, don't steal my lines. Don't steal my lines. I just got my ass whooped. You done fucked around and started one player the wrong way. Okay? Yeah. You screwed it all up. That's what you did. Now, I also have some other things, other fantasy updates for you, because fantasy baseball has come to an end. But we did have a fantasy league. We had two of them, in fact. One of them was a traditional fantasy league, rotisserie style, and one of them was some weird conglomerate bullshit that Steven Uzi threw together. This was purchased by Total Dallas to be given to the winner of the original fantasy baseball league. It says you can see it says Barry on Sports Fantasy Baseball 2021 champ Oliver Laminack commissioner. Even though Steven was the commissioner, it's still Oliver. And it's got Oliver on the trophy. Now, this is going to the winner. I'm sorry, TD, but that baseball doesn't fit on there. So we're just going to know that the baseball exists. I would like to present this to the winner. Me. Oh, you gotta hate it. You gotta hate it. Lil Uzi lost by 2 points. In fact, let's see here. Let me go to the fantasy page. Let's see. Uh-oh. So this was some sort of weird thing where you played multiple weeks, and I don't know I don't know what he did. But this was the final matchup here. This was the final game. Lil Uzi lost the championship by 2 points. He lost by 2 points. How do you lose by 2 points? Very carefully, apparently. I was the 4 seed going in, and I want to take all the credit in the... Don't look at that name. No, that guy had nothing to do with this. I want to take all the credit in the world. I got to thank these little digital guys. Actually, I turned this team over to BZH 420 about 2 weeks into the season, because this was the dumbest baseball league I've ever played in. It wasn't a traditional rotisserie. It was a head-to-head, number one. Number two, it was... they didn't keep track of traditional stats. It was runs, total bases, RBIs, walks, strikeouts, and stolen bases. That was the batting statistics that were tracked in this league. And in pitching, it was innings pitched, hits, earned runs, walks, strikeouts, wins, and losses. It made no sense. It was stupid. It was dumb. And I won. And the reason is because of my manager. I got to give a special shout out to Brian, aka BZH420, for helping our squad The best move I made all year was hiring him as the manager of this team. I brought him in. He did his thing. So congratulations to Brian for winning this. I will get that in the mail to you because, as an owner of the club, I don't want to take all the glory. But Brian took a team that was raggedy all the way. No, not stealing Steven's name, but this was a shitty team, and he took that all the way to a championship. And that's got to suck. Eric Resendez goes 21-0 in the regular season and loses. Boy, that's a tough out. That is a tough loss, buddy. I'm sorry for you there. Also, one more house cleaning thing. Because I bitched about this league, Steven Uzik created another league for me, Rotisserie League, on which I also won that one. But I knew I was going to win that. I'm a rotisserie savant. All right. So I won that league as well. Who were the Killer Bees? I didn't even look that up. I guess I should. I mean, it didn't really matter about second place. No one. Steven Uzik got third there in that league as well. Let's go over here. Cut. Here's your members. Who was Killer Bees was Dandy Dan, got second, and Steven Uzik got third in that league. So there you go. There are your. Okay, what's happening here? There are your fantasy updates. Let's talk some sports now. That's enough fantasy talk. No one gives a shit. Let's talk specifically about Kyrie Irving. Yes, Matt, I swept the baseball leagues. It's what I do. I mean, baseball's my thing. And especially rotisserie, when it's just a 5x5 rotisserie. That's my shit. You got a pretty good strategy every year that keeps me in the running. All right, but let's talk Kyrie because the Nets aren't really sure what they're going to do with Kyrie Irving. They don't know what to do because Kyrie is saying he doesn't want to get vaccinated. But if he doesn't change his mind, he won't be able to play. New York has rules or laws, I guess, that say you can't participate in an arena. You can't participate in an arena as a performer if you're not vaccinated. And some people are obviously rushing to his side and saying, yeah, that's his choice, that's his right, he should be allowed to do that. And you're right. And he is. And Brooklyn has been, supportive of Kyrie and saying it's his right. Oh my God, a spider or a gnat is on my... I literally just saw it run across the... Ew. Literally just saw it run across the lens. Here's the deal. The states and employers have the right to tell you that if you don't get vaccinated, you cannot work here. What's up, Christopher Mina? We just did the fantasy updates. Congratulations, buddy. So they have that right. Does that make it right or wrong? Do you agree or disagree politically? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. That's not the point of the conversation. The point is that the state can say you need to be vaccinated to perform indoors. And if you're not, you can't. And Kyrie 100% has the right to say, I'm not going to get vaccinated. That's your decision. But it also means you're not going to be able to play in 41 of those home games. It's going to be interesting to see this play out because I think Kyrie is a man of conviction and I think he wants to prove points and I think he looks at life as being much bigger than basketball. He is an activist. He is well known for his social commentary, whether you think it's silly or dumb or whatever. I think he also does a lot for people in his community and others in support of them and uplifting folks. But I think he has his belief system and he holds true to those values and beliefs regardless of what other people say or the actions that they take around him because of it. And I think if Kyrie really believes that he doesn't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason and he chooses not to, I think he's willing to fade this. Now, the question becomes, if you're Brooklyn, do you trade Kyrie? Do you say, look, we support your right not to get vaccinated, but we cannot have somebody on this team in a state that requires you to be vaccinated. Let's get you to a state and to a team that you can play. And let's get us somebody back that can start and play for us, that's willing to get vaccinated. And that's either that, or you just have to know he ain't playing in half of your games. And plus, when he plays the Knicks, it's going to be interesting. I was looking at the article just to see if they had any details, but it says, under an agreement between the league and players union, Irving could lose game checks of approximately $380,000 for every home game he misses due to the protocol, starting with Friday's preseason home game against the Bucks. Irving, 29, is under contract for $35 million for the season. They have a 6-game homestand starting the second week of the season. See how long it goes. We'll see. It's interesting. I think it's an interesting dynamic, good, bad, or indifferent. I do think it's an interesting dynamic that you have states that have said this, like, hey, you can't be in a rock band, you can't be a stand-up comic, you can't do any of that and perform indoors if you're not vaccinated. And there is that level of, well, it's none of your business if I am or I'm not, but you have to disclose it in order to be able to perform. That's just the rules that they've stated. You've got to be able to prove you've been vaccinated. So there's like all these it's kind of weird, to be honest with you. Matt said Kyrie definitely uses healing crystals to ward off COVID. And Joe Pro has a good point. It's absolutely his choice. And choices absolutely have consequences. That's right. So you don't have to get vaccinated. But you're not going to be able to play your home games or away games in New York. Or, I don't know, is New Jersey like that? Like, I wonder if any other states have that rule. That would be interesting to know or to find out. But it's they're faced with a dilemma. And then if he's not going to do it, if he says, look, rest of my life, I'm not taking that vaccine. Oh, Cali is like that? Whoa. Think about that. Is that true if Cali's like that? Now, so you can't play your 41 home games. Let's pull up how many let's see. Because you've got the Warriors, you've got the Lakers and the Clippers. Am I missing any? The Kings. There's at least 4 teams in LA. No telling how many of those. I mean, I know that you pretty much play everybody at least once in the regular season, right? I mean, you're talking upwards at least of maybe 50 of the 82 games he can't play in because of half of his home games. So let's just run through it real quick. Let's see. At Milwaukee, at Philly, Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, Orlando, New Orleans, OKC. All right. Cleveland, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Detroit. All right. Portland, no. LA 1, LA 2, Indiana, Chicago, Cleveland, Washington, San Antonio, Minnesota. I'm just counting away games. Golden State, Sacramento, Utah, Denver, Washington, Miami, New York. That's 5. Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Charlotte, Philly, Orlando, Memphis, Miami, Atlanta, New York, 6. So 6 away games, at least in Cali and New York, plus the 41 home games. So 47 of the 82 games, he would not be able to play it because he won't get vaccinated. Now, that's 47 games. times $380,000 per game. This guy is willing to sit out and miss 17 million, almost 18, $17.86 million in paychecks because he doesn't want to get vaccinated. Boy, I wish I lived that life. Boy, I wish I had enough money to turn my nose up at $17.8 million. I would just take the 0.8 at this point. You want to give me $860K? Bro, you could put all 3 vaccines in my butthole. Let's go. Right in the butthole. Okay. Oh, you want to put the shot in my balls? Let's go. $860K, I'm in. Was that line from that movie? I'll be your little outbreak monkey. Let's go. Dude's going to walk away from damn near 18 million on conviction. And see, this is the crazy thing is like arguments like this don't make sense to me, Aaron. He's got enough money to retire. Yeah. Cool. But you still are just going to say, nah, keep your 18 million on principle? I'm sorry. Well, and see, that's the other thing, Walt. Walt says if Kyrie doesn't get vaxxed, he's going to have to retire. Not really. What you would have to do is you would have to trade him to a team that's not in Cali or in New York and not in those divisions because of all the extra games they would play. So you would have to trade him to, Texas or Florida. You would have to, let's see. So the Knicks and Nets are in the Atlantic, so that's out. The Lakers and Clippers are in the Pacific, so that's out. And the Warriors. So those 3 you're out. So you could trade him to the Rockets, right? That's fine. Pelicans, Spurs. 3 of those teams are in Texas. And then the Grizzlies and OKC. Or New Orleans, I should say. But that's the move, right? Oh, I got a trade? Hey, chat. Sorry, wrong show. John Wall for Kyrie straight up. Let's go. I wonder if that even works. Let's do the trade tracker. ESPN trade machine. We're adding teams here. Let's go. Brooklyn, Houston. I know they would never do this trade. Stop it. I'm just saying. Let's get his ass out of New York. Let's rebuild with Kyrie Irving. How great would that be? Let me see here. Let me put this up. Uh-oh, that's the wrong thing here. I really despise this. Here we go. We're going to trade Kyrie Irving for John Wall. Oh, what the hell? I don't want that. This trade failed. What? The Nets are over the luxury tax threshold. What? John Wall makes more than Kyrie Irving, you guys. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So you would have to throw in something with Kyrie to get John Wall. Boy, that tells you how screwed the Rockets are with John Wall, doesn't it? Let's start over. Come on. Let's go Brooklyn, Houston. We're going to go John Wall. We're going to go Kyrie, maybe some draft picks. No, they didn't take Cam Thomas. Yeah, boy, they didn't got many choices here. Oh, I guess they would have to get rid of how much did I say? It's pretty wild. We'll do a 3-team deal. It's but for real though, and Walt has a good point too. You're still going to miss road games in the playoffs. So if you have to play Brooklyn in the NBA Finals, let's say they trade him to a contender somewhere else. I got it. Let's say they move him to Dallas. Get Luka some help. Kyrie and Luka. Ooh. Trade him to Portland. Move Dame, right? Put Dame in Brooklyn. Kyrie in Portland. Just interesting. Oh, no, Portland can't because they're in that division with LA, I believe. Isn't that what we said? Yeah. Nonetheless, zoom out. It's going to be interesting. Okay, I don't have to pee, so I'm not going to take a break right now. I'm just going to keep rolling. Kyrie and Harden for Wall. That's pretty wild. Isn't that crazy that John Wall, you couldn't even move him because Kyrie doesn't make as much as him? Total Dallas doesn't want Kyrie Irving. Really? You wouldn't want to pair up Kyrie Irving? You could trade him for, what's it called? Porzingis, right? You can move Kyrie for Porzingis. Let's see. Let's go to Dallas. We're going to trade Porzingis. Stop it. For Kyrie. Try that trade. Oh, we have a winner, folks. There it is. Done deal. Done. Done skis. Dallas would gain 3 wins. Brooklyn would lose 12. There you go. I think we've solved the problem, folks. You just go Porzingis for Kyrie. And done. A center for a guard. Easy peasy. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to figure it out, though. Absolutely going to have to figure it out. What else did I want to do? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Y'all know I have this quiz thing. I want to do a quiz with you guys because, let's see here. There was one I wanted to do. It was basketball related. Can you name the top salaries in the NBA? And I thought that would be a fun one for us to do together. So, oh shit. Come on, fam. Let's go here, and then here. Enter. Somebody come get her. What is that song? I don't know what that song is. Let's go Trade Machine. Don't need that. Let's do a quiz. And then we're going to do a Whisker Wednesday. And then I got to do a read for Dan's. Zoom out. All right, so let's find the quiz I wanted to do. Can you name the starting pitchers for every MLB wild card game? That seems pretty easy. Oh, all the way back? Oh, that one does seem kind of hard. Can you name NFL quarterbacks with the most career passing yards all time? Can you name every NBA player to average 20 points? No. Where was the one? Let's see. Hold on. Quizzes. NBA. Can you name every Boston Celtic and Los Angeles Lakers to play? Have their number retired. There we go. All right. Last day being Lyft, unless y'all need me. Oh, Crystal, do you work for Lyft? Do you drive? I didn't know that. That is a thankless job, man. I feel sorry for you guys. Total Dallas doesn't like my trade proposal. You wouldn't do that trade, really? Oh, Kristaps Porzingis is a bust, dude. I'd much rather have Kyrie. All right, here you go. Can you name the highest paid players in the NBA? Put your thinking cap on, folks. This is timed. We got 5 minutes. Don't fuck this up, chat. Oh, I lost my window here. The highest paid players in the NBA. We have 5 minutes to name 34 of them. As soon as I click it here, it's go time. And here's the salary. And don't be cheating at home. I don't want to see no cheating. And then the teams. Okay? Are you ready? Go. LeBron. Easy. What the hell? How did that not go? James? Okay. I was like, what the hell? Harden, Durant, Kyrie, Porzingis. Oh, no. John Wall. Who is that? Giannis. Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. Thank God we didn't have to do that. Leonard, Why am I not spelling Lillard right? There we go. Who else is on the Clippers that, well, we know Anthony Davis is on there. Oops. Yeah. CP3. That's a good one. Westbrook is a good one. Westbrook. What? Where did that go? Westbrook's not on that list? Holy shit, really? Westbrook. Oh, wow. Chris Paul. What the hell? How's Chris Paul not on the list? Oh, Westbrook already popped up. Interesting. Who's the other Clipper? Why am I? Yeah, Paul George. That's who it was. Duh. I was like, why am I going blank on there? So Dame Lillard. How do you spell Lillard? That was close. Utah. Is that Mitchell? Is that Donovan Mitchell? Oh, that's Rudy Gobert. Golden State, Curry. And then what's that other light-skinned dude? Oh yeah, Ben Simmons is a good one. Oh, he's down there at the bottom at 35. Why am I blanking on the other Klay Thompson? Yeah, there you go. Philly has to be Iverson. No, Philly is the process. Why do I blank on these names? I always have this problem. Embiid. Okay. What the fuck? What? I spelled that all wrong. No, it's not Dr. J. How the fuck do you spell Embiid? Joel Embiid. Oh, 2 I's. Okay. I'm an idiot. That wasn't it. Who the fuck else is it in Philly? This is crazy. Is Bradley Beal on there? There you go. Milwaukee isn't, well, if it's not Giannis, is Porzingis on there? Yeah, buddy. Harris. Oh, there you go. Tobias Harris. Wow. That kind of surprises me that Tobias Harris makes more than Kyrie and Donovan Mitchell. And, let's see. Who else? Miami is Jimmy Butler. Toronto is Pascal Siakam. Chris Middleton is a good one. There you go. Rounding that out. We got a minute 30, chat. Let's go. There's some overpaid players out there. No shit, Tony. Dr. J. Thanks a lot, Matt. That's a great one. Dumbass. Who else? What other superstars are there? See, like, it's not going to be these rookies either. It's not going to be like Ja Morant. It's not going to be Zion. Holloway. Are you just making up names now? CC. Who else is in Portland? It's God. The backcourt duo, Dame and Brandon Ingram. That's a good one. Brandon Ingram. Dame and DeRozan. There you go. DeRozan. How did that not work? Are we spelling that wrong? Ooh, Kemba Walker. That's a good guess, Jen. McCollum, that's who. That's the other one I was trying to think of. McCollum. Let's see. In Toronto, Boston, Sacramento, Miami, Phoenix. That's Devin Booker. Minnesota is Anthony Towns. There you go. Denver is the Jokic. Oh, shit. It was Jamal Murray. Really? Jokic is not on that list? So here's who we missed. Drew Holiday, Mike Lowry, Kyle Lowry, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Jamal Murray, Kevin Love, and Gordon Hayward. So Jokic not on the list, huh? Interesting. Interesting. Well, we did pretty good. 26 out of 34. I think we were going to struggle with some of these. I don't think many of us would have had Adebayo on there or De'Aaron Fox, although nobody else in Sacramento is making any money, so that should have been kind of a given there. Should have had Drew Holiday. Kyle Lowry also. Those two should have been givens. And Jason Tatum. Boy, that's good value. Jason Tatum at $32 million a year on this list is good value. He should definitely be a column 1 guy for sure. That's your fault. CC said Holiday. Okay, my bad. My bad. Oh, well, she spelled it Halliday and then Holloway. What do you want from me? She did Holloway, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And then she did Halliday, and I'm like, Roy Halladay? And then she dropped the Holiday, and it was too late. Holiday! Wingamby! It's not bad, though, chat. Not bad. 26 of 34. Not terrible. Could have been worse. Worst? Could have been worse. That's not worst. That's not a word, Barry. Well done, guys. Well done, guys and gals. Well done, guys and gals. Well done indeed. Don't come at me, Perry. Don't come running at me with that. You don't know me, player. I think I got pretty much all my stuff done. Let's do a Whisker Wednesday, you guys. Let's do this. Whisker Wednesday brought to you by the good folks over at Special Pals. Special Pals is open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. And they have a plethora of dogs and cats and other animals for you to adopt. And all the animals that are at Special Pals come fully vaccinated, microchipped, spayed or neutered, and up to date on their flea and heartworm prevention medications. Adoption fees range from $80 to $250. And folks, I'm telling you right now, if you're looking for an addition to the family, look no further than Special Pals. And boy, do I have 2 cute ones for you. This is Maya. Maya is super sleek and super sweet. It's Maya. This gorgeous girl's about to be a 10-month-old. Still a puppy. All puppy. Maya is looking for a fam that will help her figure out this dog thing with training and treats. Heavy on the treats. Look at Maya. She's a cutie. What a cutie. Look at that tongue. She could kiss you from across the room. Make it weird. So this is Maya. If you want to adopt Maya, all you got to do is go to specialpals.org. Log on. You'll see her. You'll see all the other dogs and cats available. Open 12 to 4 for your adoptions Wednesday through Sunday. Don't go Tuesday. And don't go at 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. It's Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. All the animals that you adopt from them will be fully vaccinated, microchipped, spayed or neutered, and up to date on flea and heartworm prevention. Have no fear. Adoption fees range from $80 to $250. All you got to do, log on to specialpals.org for all the deets. And last but not least, this is Pippa. Look at Pippa! Look at that. She comes with a little like, I can't tell if it looks like a beard right there. It looks like a ZZ Top beard, the white on her chest, but that's actually not. And you're not having deja vu. It's Pippa, twin sister of Whisker Wednesday alum Kate. Her twin was adopted, and Pippa is having major FOMO about it. I don't know what that means. All she needs is a lap, a nap, and a place to crap. Ha ha! And she will be the best little roomie ever. That's well done, Katie. Well done indeed. This is Pippa, y'all. You can adopt Pippa from Special Pals. Just log on, specialpals.org. It's all right there. It's super easy. She's super cute. Go adopt Pippa. Go adopt Maya. Do yourself a solid. Get these animals off the streets and out of the shelters and into your home so you can love them. All right. Let's go back to the rundown and see what we got going here. Uh-oh. Why am I getting messages on Twitter from people? Don't tweet me during the game, folks. This I haven't heard this yet. Oh, I was going to give you all, if you want it, I was going to give you guys my thoughts on the Chappelle Special. Have you guys watched it? Did you guys watch the Chappelle Special yet? The new Dave Chappelle? I didn't even know he had a new special out. I had no idea. And Clarence hit me up on Twitter and was like, I want to get your thoughts on the new Chappelle Special. I was like, There's a new one? Like, yeah, it came out today. I was like, oh, well, shit, I didn't even know it dropped today. So last night, after Sports Riot, while working on Shelby's wedding plans, I'm a wedding planner. That's what I do. Fidel said, I started it but fell asleep. Nick said, I heard he was brutal on some things. I thought it was funny. In fact, of the last 2 or 3 specials that he has dropped, I thought it was the funniest of the 2 or 3. Controversial? Yes. Edgy? Of course. Funny? Yes. And I said on one of the last 1 or 2 that I didn't think they were funny. I thought he was funny this time, and he had a point. And I've already seen NPR out there releasing articles about how he's a bigot. And there was a moment, and if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, don't watch this if you want to be surprised. Although, I mean, it's comedy. Just enjoy the jokes. But he basically tells, as you guys may or may not know, Chappelle, after his last couple of specials, got into a lot of trouble, a lot of hot water, I guess. Had the LGBTQ community up in arms. They're upset. Transgender folks are upset. Accused him of being transphobic, homophobic, anti-LGBTQ, and a host of other things. And I mean, I'm not gonna say whether that's accurate or not, because I think that depends on you. I will say this. You sometimes, and a lot of times in comedy, people listen to the surface but don't listen to the message. They hear the words, but they don't hear the message. And I think that's the case with Dave Chappelle on the last couple of specials, and it'll be in this special as well, because I don't think he did anything to repair the perceived damage that existed because of his last couple of specials. Tony says he explains it all, and that's the thing. He said, I made this special to explain my comments on the LGBTQ community, transgender persons. And then in doing so, he takes some of the same kinds of shots at those communities. Now, they're funny, and funny is funny. And he just, in typical Dave Chappelle fashion, there's a lot of twists and turns, and there's a lot of misdirection. Some of it you see coming. Some of it you know what he's about to do. But a lot of times, because he's one of the best to ever do it, there's a turn and you're like, oh, shit. I mean, if we counted the people that he took shots at, it would be the LGBTQ community. It would be the transgender community, the Jewish community, the black community, the white community. I mean, he's literally making fun of all these communities. And I think part of what you have to understand about comedy is if you're going to be offensive, just be equal opportunity offensive, right? Like, no one is out of bounds. No one is off limits. Everyone can be made fun of. Everyone can have jokes made about them. When it's something that you're passionate about, whether it be the trans community or the black community or the Jewish community, and you hear those jokes, people immediately stop listening to the joke and the message and only hear the words. And in a lot of cases, only look to get offended or wait to be offended And then a lot of times are looking for the reason to be offended. And I think that's this case again. I think people hear what he's saying. That's offensive. Are you listening to the message, though? Are you listening to the full message? Because he makes some great points. He makes some very valid points in the midst of the jokes. And are the jokes like, oh boy, could I get away with that? No. But Dave Chappelle can. And he has, and he will survive. And there are plenty of people that want to consume his comedy. You can't cancel Chappelle. You can't cancel someone that that doesn't give a shit about being canceled. That's the thing about cancel culture. You can cancel people whose whole life is clout. People that all they are here for is the clout. Dave doesn't give a shit. Joe Rogan doesn't give a shit. Joey Diaz doesn't give a shit. They're going to keep doing what they do. Their fan bases are going to support them no matter what they say. They agree with them a lot of times. That's it. Just like Norm. Great point, Ben. Norm Macdonald didn't give a shit about clout or whether you liked him or not. He did his job, and his job was to make jokes. And if you were offended, that was your problem because other people laughed because they knew it was a joke. These are jokes. And that has been so lost in comedy in the 2020s. But Dave didn't give a shit. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good special. The only thing that I thought of, the only point I would make that I thought was a little see-through to me, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but with him being vilified by the trans community so much, in his set, he tells a story about how he befriended a transgender comedian, gave her an opportunity, let her open for him. She did terrible. He didn't care. She sat in the front row. They talked during the show. They did this whole thing. He realized how funny she was. He offered to mentor her, which is amazing. And then she, in turn, defended him online because the trans community was up in arms about it, that last special. And she came to his defense on Twitter. And he's not on Twitter. He doesn't give a shit about Twitter or what people think of him on Twitter. But she was there and she said, yes, Daphne. And that was the bit, that Daphne bit at the end. And I looked it up and you can clearly see the tweet where she says, where she's defending him against the transgender community, that he's a comic and this is his job and this is what he does. And then the trans community turned on her because she defended him. And then 6 days later, she committed suicide. And now Dave talks about how he created a trust fund for her daughter because that's all she cared about was taking care of her daughter. It's beautiful at the end the way he describes it. You really need to watch it. But this was my thought as I'm watching it. It had a very some of my best friends are black feel to it. And I think that there's a bit of, and if, and this can be controversial too, and I'm by no means a Dave Chappelle and with the clout or the critical thinking skills to pull off something like this. But I think that and it's Dave's point on a lot of this is, the trans community and the LGBTQ community can be a bit hypocritical because it's kind of like the women's suffrage movement, right? It's kind of like feminism. Feminism was great for white women, but they didn't they didn't consider feminism and equal rights for black women. And he tells a story about Sojourner Truth. Oh, you can come to the meeting, but you can't talk. So he's pointing out the hypocrisy of shit like that, including trans folks who are a little less than understanding, but expect a ton of understanding in return, I think is his point. But in my case, when he tells the story, it does have some of my best friends are black feel. And what I mean by that is when you see folks get in trouble for something they said that is racist against black people specifically in this instance, they'll try to justify it by saying, no, I didn't mean that. I have friends that are black. I love my black friends. Some of my best friends are black. So it doesn't come from a place of, I'm not I'm I've got black friends. And that's what this felt like. In a way, it felt to me like Dave was saying, I'm not transphobic. I have trans friends. I'm setting up trust funds for a transgender woman who killed herself that I befriended, that I was going to mentor. So how could I be transphobic if I'm doing that for a trans comedian? It's a slippery slope because you got to acknowledge and admire what he did for that comic and her daughter. But at the same time, if something happens and we're flipping the script and we're not talking about the trans community, but we're talking about the black community, and something happens and then a white comic says, well, I befriended this black person and then I took care of it would be like the guy, what's his name? Michael, what was the dude on Seinfeld that said the N-word on stage and was done. Black folks were not having it. Society was not having it. Kramer, as a stand-up, said the N-word on stage. You've never heard from him again. Ever. And Michael Richards. And Dave has said some words and some offensive things to those communities as well. And so his point is, look, there's tolerance across the board that needs to be had. And there's also, don't forget, you have a struggle, but your struggle is a new struggle. My people have struggled for far longer. And at the end of the day, we're all struggling amongst a common enemy, I guess. But to try to justify it by that story, though the story was great and poignant and funny, to me, it just had that, if Michael Richards were to go do a special and say, how could you say I'm racist because I said that word? I befriended Black Comic X at a show. I let him open for me. I took him on the road. I built him up. I did this. I did that. How could you say that? That's what it felt like to me in that instance. And I love Dave. And I think that the special was well done and well executed. And if you listen to the messages and not the words, it makes a lot of sense. I laughed out loud a lot because he's that funny and he's that good. That was my only thing that I would pick apart about the special, was that I felt like that story, it was cheapened a little bit because it felt like and Dave's the kind of guy that he doesn't give a shit what people think. He's telling you the story because he called himself the GOAT on stage. So I don't think it comes from a place of ego. It's just Dave's very matter of fact, it feels like. Dave's just like, look, this is what happened. So for you guys that say that, that's just not true. You just don't know me. But I will say, there are those moments where it's like, is this one of those cases where it's like, hey guys, some of my best friends are trans. I can't be transphobic. Amos said it was how Richards used it. It was pure rage. No. Disagree, Amos. It wasn't how he used it. It was that he used it. Because even if he had not said it in a fit of rage, but just said it, he probably wasn't going to survive it. And I'm amazed that comedians like Ralphie May survived it all those years. Neil Brennan has said it on stage. Louis C.K. But again, let's look at the difference between those three and Richards as well. Neil Brennan gets away with it because he was Dave Chappelle's co-writer. What was the other one I gave you? Louis C.K. gets away with it because he was best friends and co-writers with Chris Rock. And then Ralphie May gets away with it. I guess because he's fat. I don't know how he got away with it. But Ralphie May got away with it too. And I'm sure there are other white comics that do it. And that was just an example. I mean, I could have probably chosen any other number of examples. Yeah, Nick said he was calling people that in the crowd, right? He yelled that at somebody. Yeah, he yelled that at somebody. But that doesn't change the point of the story. See, again, you guys are listening to the words and missing the point. This is the same problem that Chappelle has, and I'm not comparing myself to Chappelle, but the point isn't that that guy said it in the circumstance that he did. The point is he could have tried to excuse it by telling a story on stage the next time about how he befriended a black person and gave them a helping hand up. So how could he hate black people? He didn't mean it. That's the point. But you guys are getting hung up in the minutia of him. He was yelling. That's not the point of the story. I'm just using it as an example because it was the first one that popped into my head. So don't get hung up on the example. It's the message. And that was my point about Dave telling that story. That's it. And it was a beautiful story. And I love the way he ended it. Loved the way he ended it. Ben said, I've been watching so much 90s stand-up after Norm died. That shit was the Wild West back then. R words, F slurs, things seem... Yeah. When I hear someone say the R word, I cringe just as much at any other word a lot of times. Because it's like, we're still saying that? I mean, I'm guilty of it back in the day, but boy, careful. Fidel said, I'm leaving work early, getting my time till the end of the day. See y'all later. Good job, buddy. Anyways, there's my thoughts on the Chappelle Special. Loved it. Thought it was hilarious. Thought it was well done. When I saw that the name of it was The Closer, I thought, oh shit, is this it? Is this the last one? I don't think it will be. Because usually when a comedian does his closer, that's it. Show's over. And I think what he could interpret this as, because it could be loosely interpreted as, I was just closing out the whole issue I've had with the LGBTQ and trans community. That this is it. Because he says in the special, I'm never talking about this again. I'm done. And then he tells the story of Daphne. So it could go either way. No pun intended. All right, I'm going to hell. Joe Pro said, I'm so grateful I'm not dependent on other people's feelings in order to make a living. Oh, well. Yeah, he is done with Netflix. We'll see. And that was one of the points he made too, which I thought was pretty interesting in the special, is they're like, you don't know what it's like, because he talks about the difference between talking about it and being about it, right? And I think he calls it, you got to get off the bus and march. You can't just be like, we need to do something, because he talks about the Me Too movement. He makes fun of them. He's like, these bitches is out there showing up to galas in black dresses. We're going to show them. He's like, you got to actually do it. And he's like, I did it. I walked away from $50 million. I did it. He's got a point. He put his money where his mouth was. He talked the talk and walked the walk. It's a really, I just watch the special. I'd be curious what you guys think, especially on the Discord. Go to the movies and what is it? Movies and videos, music and movies. I don't know, whatever channel that is. Go to those and leave your thoughts there, or the comments of this video. Either one, I'll read them all. P. Jones said, yeah, I thought that too, Brandon. I think he's done making specials for a while. He just pumped out a lot of content, and it's not that easy, even for Dave Chappelle. It's not that easy. Although, I will say this. A guy like me that works on an hour of material, it's got to be tried and true tested. Dave's going to get laughs just because he's Dave. And that's just a fact. Comedians get laughs from their crowd. Like when you see, like, I got some pretty cool news I'll announce tomorrow, but when you see some comics that are touring, maybe whoever your favorite, Bill, let's use Bill Burr. Or no, actually, let's use a more, let's use Ali Wong, for example. Ali Wong is a comedian that I had discovered on Netflix. Hilarious, super funny chick. Ali Wong has a really strong and passionate and great fan base, right? Joe Rogan is a better example. My bad. Love Ali Wong. Let's use Joe Rogan. He doesn't make me laugh, but that doesn't mean he's not funny. And that's a big difference I think people need to understand about comedy. A lot of times we're too quick to go, that guy's not funny. And I was guilty of that. And then Andy Huggins said, look, just because you don't think they're funny doesn't mean they're not funny. They're just not your style of comedy. Light bulb moment. So while Joe Rogan doesn't make me laugh, he's got a following and a fan base that thinks he's funny. So when he writes material and does it for his fan base, they laugh at it. But I guarantee you, and this is what I thought about a couple of the previous Chappelle specials in a very silly, stupid, selfish way. I thought if I went on stage and did some of the jokes that Chappelle just did in a couple of these specials, nobody would laugh at me. Nobody would laugh. But because it's him, it's funnier. So I think he could get up there and kind of pump out. He could kind of do whatever, and people are going to give him the benefit of the doubt that, well, this has to be funny. Let's just all laugh. This is definitely funny, right? This is super funny. So there is a little bit of that. And I think that's true for any comic and their fan base. You know, when you consider, in comedy, not this, but in comedy, I have at least 3 to 8 fans. And I feel like I could get away with jokes, and they'll laugh at them because they're fans. All 3 of them. So, I see Jeselnik being dropped a lot. Yeah, he's a controversial dude. Wallace said Kevin Hart isn't funny, but his fan base loves his stand-ups. Yeah, I think Kevin Hart is funny. But I think also, too, there's this expectation that you can maintain a level of funny once you hit it. Do you know, it took Kevin Hart 20 years to become an overnight success. Pretty standard in this biz. Kevin Hart was grinding for years until he popped big. And once you hit that pinnacle, this is what separates good comics from great comics. Like, it's the same thing in football. It's achieving a certain level of play as a quarterback, and then there's being Tom Brady. The same thing. It's hard to be that funny every time. Few people can do that. Eventually comedy is a very peaks and valleys job anyways. I feel like, just as an example, I'm next week. In fact, there won't be a show next Friday because I'll be flying to Utah to film a special for Dry Bar. I'm very excited about this. I don't know when it'll be released. I think my buddy Kristen Leonard just had her special released on Dry Bar, and it took 2 years. So I have no idea when this thing is going to drop. But you get this anticipation, like okay, I got it. I'm excited. And then you go film it, and then it sits. And so there's this valley. There's that peak of getting it, and then you got to wait. And then you film it, and then you got to wait. And then it's released. And I think as humans, it's natural for us as comics or performers to be like, this is it. This could be my big break. I worked with a guy named Jeff Allen, who's a comedian. His Dry Bar material and specials have been viewed 100 million times. It's how I got the gig. I opened for him. He was like, bro, you're funny as shit. You should be on Dry Bar. I was like, oh, okay. And he had his agent call me, and we hooked it up. It was cool. But not everybody's going to beat Jeff Allen. I'm not anticipating my shit being seen 100 million times. I would be happy if my shit got saw 50,000 times, 10,000 times. That'd be great. But then you get that, and then a lot of us will, as comics in the biz, will be like, oh, this is it. This is it. I'm going to make it now. I'm on my way. And what you realize is, nope, this is just one small brick in a comedy wall you're trying to build. Guys that have gone on TV. I know comics that have done TV. Like legitimate. They'll do, late night TV, or they'll be on a show, or there's tons of comics on Last Comic Standing that you were like, who? If I've told you their name, you'd have no idea who the fuck it was. So it's very difficult. So when a guy like Kevin Hart gets there and is still able to maintain his level of popularity, trust me, you can say you don't think he's funny, but what he's doing is nothing short of amazing to be relevant and good this long. Oh my God. Let me fucking get rid of this dumb fuck. And how do you permaban? Let's see. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah, he's trying to. What a dumb fuck. All right. Pop out the chat. People are so weird. Like, people really get off to this kind of shit. They're like, yeah, you know what? This is going to be fucking great. Is that a ban? I don't know if that's a ban, though. Okay, those users' messages will be hidden. Okay. Yeah, I got no... Who's my YouTube mods that's here? Just me. Oh, thank you, Cece. So Cece's here. Good. Oh, there's Justin. Okay, I was like, where the fuck is the... Okay. This dude is still messaging. Okay, Cece, thank you. Hey, come. Well, I'm looking at it. Don't tell me to eat a dick. You know I can't have that many calories. I'm trying to lose weight. Yeah, that was fucking weird. Anyways. No, we haven't been hacked. So we've been hacked again. Although, yeah. Oh, yeah, we did have some weird shit going on. What a week. This shit happened on Sports Riot last night, too. Bunch of weirdos. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I welcome your thoughts either in the comments or over on the Discord. Once you watch the Chappelle Special, we'll see what you guys think. Drew said, I thought Paul Mooney was funny, but a lot of people don't like his comedy. Yeah, and again, that's because Paul Mooney didn't give a fuck. Paul Mooney was one of those guys. And there are, and that's what I admire about comics. Like Norm Macdonald, Paul Mooney, Dave Chappelle. And they don't give a fuck what you think. And Jeselnik too, I guess, to a certain degree. And just like, no, I'm going to do what I think is funny. And if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. I wish I could be like that. That's the thing. That's the shitty thing about being in the public eye and being a people pleaser. As little as I'm in the public eye, I guess you could say. Man said, I liked Hart's stand-up, but his movies are all corny as fuck. And he's literally the same character in all of them. Well... I think you develop a character, and when the public falls in love with it, they expect it. Because to be honest with you, Matt, think about it. When Jim Carrey did something serious or Robin Williams did something serious, it felt weird. I remember when I saw Steve Carell in a movie, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This isn't funny. He's being all serious. And then you get adjusted to it, and you're like, wow, that was really good. But the vast majority of people expect it and they want it. And I think Kevin Hart actually did a movie where he was serious. He wasn't okay. Which one of y'all hit me? Okay. That's why Chris Tucker stopped doing, what was it? That's why he didn't do Friday. He didn't want to get bogged down into that. But fatherhood. There you go. Fatherhood. Go look it up. Go look up Fatherhood on Netflix. Very serious role. Very poignant. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what Kevin Hart did there. It was not the, okay. And look, I get it. Like, I have started to develop tendencies in the way I perform on TV and the show and stage and stuff like that. And it becomes a character that you do. I don't do that shit in real life. I mean, maybe a little bit. And I'm sure that some of that is, Kevin's personality coming out, just like it would be in mine. But people expect that, man. And you dance with what brung you. If doing all that shit is what made him popular and great and built his fan base to be as big as it is, why do you go away from that? I don't know. Dice. There's another one. Dice didn't get credit, though. I think Dice was a better comic. He just had a gimmick. I mean, that's just like Larry the Cable Guy. That's the funny thing is people, like Dice was just a Larry the Cable Guy with just a different twist. Those are all those characters. That's the part. At least Kevin Hart is maybe that. Okay. Maybe that's how he is in real life. Maybe that's how he is around his family. Because there's stuff that I'll do that are tendencies on stage or while performing, whether it be film or, TV or whatever, radio, that are elements of me and then elements of performance just enhanced from what I would do hanging out with family and friends. Because my friends will tell you, I get loud, I get wild, I get crazy. I do all the things that I do on this show or on stage or whatever. And just do it in a performance mode instead of hanging out mode. So, yeah, Joe Pro said never quit a winner. Yeah, well, dance with what brung you. Why would you change? Don't change. I still can't get over that guy's name. Kim Jong-un sucked my dick while I fucked Hitler. Somebody sat down and thought of that. What a fucking weirdo. Matt said I do the same shit, to be honest. I do the same shit, to be honest. Like The Rock being the highest paid actor, just being himself in every film. Yep. Oh, Krista, you better make it tonight. By the way, just a reminder, those of you that forgot or whatevs, we are mere hours away. Doors at 6:30, show at 8. That means we are 4 hours away from Sports Riot live at the Improv. Come out. It's going to be fun. Myself, Shock, John Wessling, Suntran, Kanis Nana, doing comedy, debating sports. I'm supposed to write a bunch of lines. I don't know if I'm going to be ready. I may just have to fucking wing it. They're going to hate me for that because it's not going to be funny. But and then I'm going to marry Shelby and Roland. No. Whatever his name is. Figure it out. Mark said, I'm literally getting ready for tonight. Did I mention pregame with $4 whiskeys at Big City Wings? Oh, God. Oh, Lord. It's going to be a wreck in there. It's going to be a mess. If Cece is pregaming, she's about to get wild. Shit's going to get wild. Joe Pro said, ask me anything about anything. When's the last time you had a minute to hang out with a buddy that wasn't a comic or in sports talk? Take some time, Mr. Lemonade. I don't think I have any friends that aren't in comedy or sports talk, to be honest with you. Trying to think. Do I have any friends that I still talk to? Like I had a friend of mine, Kevin, who I knew from work back in the day when I was in IT. I mean, just family, like Nora or Ray or, but yeah, I don't think I have any family or friends that aren't comedians or radio guys. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. That's it. I mean, but I love hanging out with comics. That's the shit. That's the best. I'd rather hang out with comics than anybody. They can be a little exhausting at times, but it's good. Oh, that's the thing. You're not going to hang out with comics and not talk comedy. That's just a given. It's in our blood. I don't want to hang out with those comics, by the way. Any comic that doesn't want to talk comedy, I don't want to hang out with them. That's for sure. All right, it is 3:57. Hope you enjoyed my TED Talk on Dave Chappelle and comedy. Thanks for hanging out. A little sports today. Lots of fantasy. Had to get that out of the way. I know it bored and ran off some people. I looked over at the numbers. I was like, oh shit. They don't give a fuck about this fantasy talk. But fuck them. Fuck them, I say. All right, folks, we are 4 hours away. We go right. I still got a show to prep for TV. I'll be probably doing that after sports right. Yay. All right, guys. See y'all tonight. If I don't see you tonight, see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you Friday. If I don't see you Friday, go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful evening. If I see you, if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow. Do me 3 favors until then. Be safe. Be kind. Most importantly, love each other. See y'all later. YouTube video!